Hi, hello everyone. Hello, Martin. Hi, as you join, kindly share and invite somebody. Hello everyone, welcome on board. Thanks for joining. Kindly share as you join and also invite somebody to join us. Thank you. Hello Martin, and thanks everybody. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining me. Kindly invite somebody, kindly share, and let us start in the next few minutes. Barry came. Hello. What a kwan? My God. Hello, welcome on board. Hello everyone, thank you for coming, thank you for tuning in. I know this is quite unusual. People are still at work right now. That I know for sure because I equally just stepped out of the office to have this live show. So kindly invite somebody, kindly share, and let us start in the next few minutes. Sorry about that. There was a call coming in. The name passed me, honestly. Honestly speaking. Thank you very much. That was so funny. Oh. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And this is your comrade, Cecilia and Mabo. So today, like the topic says, there's confusion in the enemy's camp. The end is near. So before we start, as a tradition, obviously, we have a national anthem that when we all listen to it, it indeed leaves an indelible mark in our hearts. That feeling that we can never forget. So before we ride on, we're going to start with our national anthem. I'm going to play that on here so we can all just honor the anthem. Otherwise, I'm just going to sing it myself. At least I know how to sing it. Yeah, you're right. Others will follow afterward. So we are moving on right away. So we start with our national anthem. Hail, hail this one of glory, we the Amazonian pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us our freedom, allegiance to the heroes who bore the land with their blood. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey, glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Woo. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, we're going to start right away. And like somebody proposed earlier, others will follow suit. Thank you for your time. And today's topic, I'm going to talk on 3 issues. The visit of the Prime Minister to our territory and the one that is currently going on now. The visit of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. And we will also talk a little about the United Nations Security Council meeting that actually held 2 days ago on our behalf. So before we start, I would like us to take a moment or a minute of silence to all our fallen heroes, those that have gone before us since the beginning of our fight for the right of our right for external self-determination. So let us give them a minute of silence. Thank you all, and may their souls rest in peace. And to all our brothers, to all our heroes who are in the various dungeons of La République du Cameroun, we salute you all for your bravery. We thank you for your courage. We thank you for your tenacity. We are happy to know that you're still standing and you're still hanging on there for us all. We can never appreciate what you've done for us. Words are not enough. But most especially, I want to give a patriotic salute to our brave soldiers on Ground Zero for the incredible job they are doing to making Ground Zero a contender. Words are not enough to appreciate you all for your efforts, for the sacrifices, for taking bullets on our behalf, for what you are doing, giving up your livelihood, your life, your families, your businesses, your everything to make sure that one day we can proudly walk in triumphantly into Boya and call it home. We can never thank you enough. So we say thank you, our brave warriors. Thank you for the bullets you're taking on our behalf. Thank you for keeping the resistance alive. Thank you for all your sacrifices. We can never thank you enough. Now, and to go straight into the matter, into the crux of the matter for today. I would like to start with the visits of John Guti in the northwest region, in the northern zone of Ambazonia, in Bamenda to be precise. Ambalanders, if we all listened in the past days, we saw, that was, today is the 14th, 15th, on the 13th, we saw that the Security Council had an informal meeting on the Ambazonian case. And that is just few days after the La République Prime Minister visited our territory, clothing himself with peace plans and all that, walking around as though he came to talk peace to our people. We heard the alarming figures that were being read at the Security Council. We all know, we've all heard these figures, we've all seen them, and of course, these are not even accurate because they themselves confess that they are having difficulty in accessing the various communities that have been affected by this war. We heard them reading figures like 4 million people have been affected by the war in Ambazonia. We heard them talking about more than 500,000 people are internally displaced. But we know our story better than any other international organization that walks into our territory. Those of us who come from villages that have been razed down, we can best tell the number of houses that have been razed down by the military forces of La République du Cameroun. It is only us that can provide the accurate data of what the number of villages that have been razed down, the number of people that have been killed in our community, the number of people that are internally displaced, and the number that are actually refugees in foreign countries right now. They can only stay in Yaoundé, make phone calls and gather data, but we of course know that the empirical data can only come from us. So we heard all these alarming figures, but still there are more figures that they have not been able to, there is more data still hanging out there that they've not been able to access. And let us talk about the Prime Minister's visit to our territory and to those women that actually welcomed him in Ambazonia. Ambalanders, few days before the United Nations Security Council met, we saw the charade of the Prime Minister in our territory. We saw him entering our territory and was actually welcomed so triumphantly by a group of people, of course, a group of people that were ferried in from La République du Cameroun to come and be on cameras and pretend to be our own people to deceive the international community that they are actually walking towards peace. Now we're asking ourselves these questions. The Prime Minister came and talked to our people. He talked about peace. He wore peace plans on his own body. He carried peace plan in his hands, moving around so freely in our own territory. And the question I ask myself is, does he understand the significance of a peace plan? Does he understand what the peace plan stands for? Because if we remember vividly, the people of Southern Cameroons, Ambazonians, walked the street on the 22nd of September 2017 holding peace plans. and these people were brutally massacred. They were brutally arrested. Some were brutally thrown into jails, and for simply holding peace plan, indicating that they came out non-violently to talk, to express themselves, to indicate their dissatisfaction, just expressing their fundamental rights as citizens. Our people were brutally arrested. Our people were killed. Our people were thrown in jails when they held peace plans. And today, the Minister of La République du Cameroun enters our territory holding peace plan, walking about freely in the name of dialoguing, in the name of talking on behalf of the President of La République du Cameroun. Fellow Ambalanders, if you are a true Ambazonian, is that not a mockery to the memories of our fallen heroes, those who came out peacefully to simply ask for what belongs to them, who were brutally murdered? He walks our street holding peace plan with one hand, and on the other hand holding guns. He gathered our people, deceived them that the President of La République is willing to talk. He's willing to dialogue. He's willing to listen to the plight of the people. He started giving promises. He promised our people that they were going to give them jobs. He promised our mothers, those that came to welcome him, that the president was willing to give our people free education, to rebuild our community and resettle our people. He even went ahead to promise them a better life, a better Cameroon. But don't forget, he also was very frank and emphatic that the president was not willing to talk about the restoration of the statehood of Ambazonia. And my question now to Mr. President, to the Minister of La République is, how do you extend a peace plan with one hand and on the other hand you're shooting and killing people? You trampled our territory with the claim that you came for peace. On the same day, we saw video, we saw images coming in from Bamendankwe, where our brothers were brutally murdered by your own military stationed in the same northern region that you visited, in the heart of Bamenda, where you visited. Bamendankwe is upstation Bamenda. On that same day where you were talking about peace, the willingness to sit and dialogue, for our boys to lay down their arms, for our parents to call back their children from the various bushes to come back to town because you're willing to give them free education, jobs, and resettle them into built homes, your military was busy in a corner killing our people. Reports came into us on the same day that the minister was in Ambazonia, or in Bamenda, that 6 young men, innocent civilians, were brutally murdered in a corner that same day. On that same day that the minister was speaking or claiming he was talking about peace to our people, the military forces of La République du Cameroun were busy raising down our communities in the county of Bui. And you ask yourself, this is somebody that has come to talk peace. Yet, our brothers and sisters in their numbers, in their thousands, are still languishing in the jails of La République du Cameroun. Some have been sentenced to 15 years imprisonment with ridiculous fines attached to their imprisonment. We still have more than 200,000 Ambazonians refugees in Nigeria. We still have more than 850,000 of our people as internally displaced people across the national territory. And this is the same who caused the displacement of our people. Ambalanders, let us wisen up. Let us not allow ourselves to be deceived. What is causing them to parade our streets It's not because they want to offer us peace. It's not because they want to sit and dialogue with us. It's not because they want to negotiate with us. Because they have made it clear, even federation is not on the agenda. They've made it clear that they're not even willing for any form of federation, be it 4-state federation, 2-state federation, or 8-state federation, whatever federation that those who are clamoring for federation are seeking for. They are not willing. They said the least they can give to us is decentralization. And you ask yourself, after 3 years of anguish, after 3 years of agony, after 3 years of burying the finest youths of Ambazonians, the most brilliant youths of Ambazonia, after 3 years of languishing in jails, is it decentralization you want to settle for? Is it decentralization you want to settle for? To our mothers, don't allow yourselves to be deceived. He came and made promises. That is simply because they had international pressure on them. Let us not forget, he came 3 days before the sitting at the United Nations Security Council, because they equally had a representative that will be going to the United Nations to talk about the current crisis in Ambazonia. They definitely needed to show the international community that they are putting effort. They definitely want the international community to know that after the visit of Michelle Bachelet, they are putting effort to bring peace in Cameroon. But you and I know that people like La Republic du Cameroun, they do not extend a hand of peace. They extend brutality. They extend the use of excessive force. That is what they are good at. That is what they are known for. Brutality, brute force. They use it in all forms to make sure that you listen to them. They will always be the masters and you will remain the slave. Don't be deceived. Because nobody walks in your home to talk about peace and at your backyard is destroying your crops, is destroying your properties, is killing your own children. That is no friend. That is no friend. It is a staunch enemy. That is a staunch enemy. So Ambazonians, mothers and fathers, don't be deceived. Let us not blink. We are the never again generation. The time when our forefathers were deceived into thinking that they have a brother in La Republique is long gone. This is the generation, the never again generation. The generation that will not blink until they have received what rightfully belongs to them. And that is the outright independence of Ambazonia. What jobs were they offering our people? When Mancho BBC took to the street, clamoring and crying out for the unemployment of youths in the northern zone of Ambazonia, what happened to him? He ended up in Kondengi. Even when the consortium leaders came and said, let us sit and dialogue and talk like people, like human beings with some level of intelligence, what did they do? They used brute force because that is the only thing they know how to do. Don't allow yourself to be deceived. What happened to the industry, the various thriving industries in southern Cameroon that provided jobs to hundreds and thousands of people in Ambazonia? They destroyed it. They either destroyed it, closed it down, or they transferred it to their economic capital in Douala. Because they wanted to starve southern Cameroons economically to continually depend on them. Ambalanders, let us not allow ourselves to be deceived. They want to build our schools. What happened to our schools? What happened to our educational system? What happened to the institution, the structures that we had in place in Ambazonia? They ordered the military to trample. They trampled in our territory with utmost disrespect and indignation. They destroyed that which our foreparents labored to build for their own children. They raised it down in less than no time. And today they are talking about rebuilding school. What happened to the schools that we had in southern Cameroon? What happened to our educational system? What happened to our hospitals? Why are hospitals not there? Why are people dying on daily basis because of lack of nurses, because of lack of hospitals to go to? Because their military is busy raising down our hospitals, our schools, our communities, and forcing us to be subjected to their rule. Why? So what therefore are they coming to offer us? What peace are they talking about? What jobs are they willing to offer to us? And to whom are they offering these jobs? Are they offering these jobs to the hundreds of youths that have been massacred, those that have been killed and their corpses set ablaze, those that have been killed and buried in mass graves, those that are IDPs in various bushes of La Republique, in various bushes across the national territory of Amazonia, or to the thousands, the hundreds that are refugees in foreign countries? To whom are they offering these jobs to? Mothers, don't allow yourselves to be deceived. They have stolen your pride as mothers. They have caused you to dig graves in a culture that is prohibited for women to dig graves. You dig graves because you needed to bury your children. Your children have been buried in the most inhumane manner in the territory of Amazonia. Some have been buried in shallow graves. Some have decomposed in various bushes because they bundled them from your home, from your presence, killed them in bushes and dumped their corpses in the various bushes. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived. To whom are they willing to offer jobs in Amazonia? They ask you to convince your children to drop their weapons and come back home because they have education to offer them. What form of education are they offering them? Is it the same education that teachers got up and said, we do not want this education because it's been infiltrated? You have stolen the educational system that we inherited from our colonial master. Or what education are they planning to offer our people? And to who are they offering this education? Where our educational institutions have been raised down. Just before I go ahead, let us not forget that these same people who are talking about bringing back our people or offering jobs to our people are the same people who destroyed the various economic institutions that were in the north, in Amazonia, offering hundreds of thousands of jobs to our people. They destroyed the development agency that we had in Amazonia, the Cameroun's bank that we had, and they removed it and sent it to La Republique. These are institutions that were offering jobs to our people because they undermine our territorial integrity, because they undermine the fact that we are a separate people. They transfer these agencies to their own territory in La Republique du Cameroun. We had the marketing board. That was looted away. The finances, the reserve in the marketing board, we had over 78 billion francs CFA, approximately 160 million US dollars. This money was misappropriated with impunity. The electricity corporation, Powercam, was closed down by the same people. These are institutions that were offering hundreds of jobs to our people. They closed it down and its asset was confiscated. The hydroelectricity installations in the territory, they were demolished. The Cameroon Timber Company based in Moyoka was closed down. The assets confiscated. The Formiki Direct Supply Company closed down. The Nixon Automobile Company closed down. The Nanga Company closed down. The Kilo Brothers Company closed down. The Union Profits in Kumba closed down. The Czech companies were ordered to move from Amazonia to La Republique du Cameroun and basically starved from finances, and they closed down. La Republique du Cameroun deliberately also squeezed out all these companies from our own people. These are companies that were providing jobs, making Ambazonian independent, Southern Cameroon's independent, economically, as a country of its own that it was. The agro-industrial establishment, such as the Santa Coco Coffee Estate, was closed down. The Obang, this thing was also closed down. So my question is, we had stability. Economically, we were stable. But they came into our territory, used force, and closed down everything that was providing jobs to our youth, to our parents, and they turn around, they want to come to us and talk about peace, offering us jobs. What jobs are they willing to offer us? The Womb Area Development Authority, I'm just giving a little bit of what we had in Southern Cameroon, and these people stole it away from us. They brutally stole it away from us, used their military to suppress our voices from talking, used their military to suppress our parents from standing up to fight for these things. They destroyed the Womb Area Development Authority, where was closed down. The Cameroon airport was closed down. The Tiko International Airport was closed down. The Bisongabang Airport was closed down. The Bali Airport was closed down. The Way Airstrip was closed down. The Victoria Deep Seaport was closed down. The Tiko Seaport was closed down. The Ndian Sea and the Manfe Inland Port all were closed down. The Ombe Trade Center was closed down. All these were economically, these were things that stabilize the economy of Southern Cameroon, because they saw that these things were making us stable and independent. They decided to maliciously destroy them and make us starve economically so that we can depend on them. And today, our parents were shut down with the use of military, and today they want, our boys have died because they said we will not be the same like our parents. We will not chicken out. We will fight for what belongs to us. And now they trample our streets with disrespect to the memories of our people that they have killed to talk to us about talking. What are we talking about? We have said the independence of Southern Cameroon, of Ambazonia, is not negotiable. The only thing, CDC that has employed hundreds of thousands of people, they equally have infiltrated it and squeezed it out of our hands in the name of privatization. Amberlanders, we will not be fooled forever. It is either you rise now and take the bull by the horn, or you remain a slave for the rest of your life. But the generation where I find myself is the never again generation that has said enough is enough. We are not going to allow the La République du Cameroun decide our destinies for us. We're going to take our own destiny in our own hands. They destroyed our educational system. We have organizations like the APHAL, that is the American Student Program for Africa, African Student Program for American Universities, that was giving scholarship to deserving Southern Cameroonians to travel to America and study. The president of La République du Cameroun, Ahijo, ordered for its discontinuation. We have AFGRA that was providing scholarship to deserving Southern Cameroonians to study abroad. They came in and destroyed it because they saw that Ambazonians were becoming too independent and not depending on them. They saw that they would build, Ambazonians were becoming a people that they cannot reckon with. They ordered for the discontinuation of all these programs. The US aid, I know of the US aid. I know what the US aid has done in other African countries. I've seen the tremendous job that the US aid has done in Ghana. What it has offered the youth of Ghana. The same La République president ordered for its discontinuation in southern Cameroon. The British Technical Assistance Program that was meant to give our people scholarship to travel to the UK to study, they also ordered for the discontinuation of all this program because they saw that we were economically empowered. Our educational system was 100 times better than what they are receiving from France. They decided to destroy us, not just our economy, but they also decided they were going to destroy our mentality. They decided to enslave us with what they felt was an educational system that is beneficial to them, not to us as a people. Steal away our heritage, a heritage of over 80 years. Steal it away from us. And today they want to come and talk about education. Which education are they willing to offer our people? The education that when you graduate from the university, you're unable to even construct a good sentence in English? Is it the education that when you graduate from the university, you're unable to even write your own name? What education is the government of La République ready to offer the people of Southern Cameroons, the people of Ambazonia? The same education that our foreparents had, they destroyed it. They stole it from them because they knew that if they continue to be empowered through that form of educational system, they will rise up and fight against La République du Cameroun. Ambalanders. These are few of the things that they have done to us. They have also deliberately decided that Southern Cameroons will never be developed, that Ambazonia will not be developed. When international investors step in Cameroon and want to invest in Southern Cameroon or in Ambazonia, they will deliberately coerce these people or force them to invest in La République du Cameroun. We have instances of cases like the oil company, Pectun. We have Brasseries, we have Guinness, we have Isenberg. These are all companies that were willing to set up their base in Ambazonia, but the government of La République du Cameroun coerced all these international investors to invest in La République du Cameroun. And that can only tell me one thing, that these are two different countries. They want their own country to be developed. That is because they know we are two different countries. There is nothing like one and indivisible Cameroon. Of course, we are two and totally divisible. There is no one and indivisible Cameroon. We have two different heritage. We have two different colonial masters. And that is something we should not forget. We should not allow ourselves to be deceived. They will always come in. Ahijo said it before, that they are reiterating that they are not annexationist. That is not true. That is what he said to the United Nations when they wanted us to join with La République du Cameroun. But we all know that that is what the role they have been playing in Ambazonia. We cannot allow them to continue to deceive us after 57 years of slavery. After 57 years, we cannot sit and allow them to continue to deceive us. And to that, Mr. Minister, I am so sorry to tell you that we are disappointed as Ambazonians to know that you are a son of the soil and you allow yourself to be coerced. You people, you practice stomach politics. Once your family is fine, you consider that everything is fine. But let it be known that Ambazonia is at war. The fact that you wore peace plans and enter Ambazonia doesn't change the fact that Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. That Ambazonians have come out from that mental slavery that has been inculcated in them long time ago. Our foreparents failed. But this generation will not fail. When a door is open, it gives room for robbers to rob, to bang into your homes and steal whatever they want. Our foreparents made that mistake. Britain withdrew its forces in Ambazonia when we depended on them. Since 1961, they withdrew their forces in Ambazonia, and that means we had no forces of our own. We had no army of our own to defend us. They left us defenseless, and because of that, they meticulously entered Ambazonia and started using brute force on our people, imposing imposing state of emergency in the same year that we got independence by joining them. But the case is different today. Mr. Minister, the case is different today. The days of Foncha, they didn't have a military. Ambazonia was defenseless at that time. The case is not the same today. The Ambazonia of today has a military of its own. They have a military that is defending the territory, a military that is the military of the people. We are no more defenseless. So you can no longer come into our territory and impose on us curfews and impose on us state of emergency because you want us to listen and to work according to your rules and regulation or according to your instructions. They had the opportunity then to impose on us their military because we had no military to defend our territory. Britain was defending us, but when they left in 1961, we remained defenseless. But that is not the case today. The Ambazonia of 1961 is not the Ambazonia of 2019. Let it be known to Yaoundé that Ambazonia of today have a military of its own that has withstood their formidable force for the past 3 years, for the almost 3 years that they've been fighting in Ambazonia. And that is the wish Paul Biya will wish he had never made. A declaration he will wish he had never made. He thought it was going to be like in the days of Foncha when they imposed a 6-month state of emergency on our people, renewable at their own terms. But that is not the case today. They have tested it and they can testify to that. Even Frunzi can testify to them what it is that is happening in Ambazonia. We control our territory. We have an army that protects our people, that fights for our people. Ambazonia is no longer defenseless. So you cannot come to impose your rule in our territory any longer. Ambalanders, we have to wisen up. Don't allow those people who pretend to wear traditional regalia to come and deceive us. They are not pure. We have seen it. John Gute is sitting there and feeling comfortable because his own family is okay. Because his family is fine, he feels everything is fine. No, Mr. Minister, everything is not fine in Ambazonia. And to those of you who think that Ambazonia is still a little gift from the Queen of England to Cameroon, no, we are no little gift to anybody. Maybe it was then. It was so in the days of our forefathers, but this generation has risen to tell you that we are no little gift to anybody. We are a people of our own. We are a country of our own, and we will control our economy. We will decide our educational system. We will decide how our economy will be built. Ambalanders, we have to think, we have to sit back and ask ourselves questions. What have these people offered us since the day we came? The United Nations and the UK forced us into joining them, into getting our independence by joining them. Firstly, they came into our territory, used their military to destroy our economy, to silence the voices of our forefathers, imposing on them state of emergencies, imposing on them they must obtain a laissez-passer before they can go to other parts of the country. That can only tell us that we are indeed not one. We are indeed not one, because if we were one, our parents will not be forced to present or obtain laissez-passers before they can go into other parts of the country. And if anybody fails to obtain such, they will be sent to prison. That is to tell us that there is nothing. Leave what they preach about one and indivisible Cameroon. That is a fat, big lie. We are two and totally divisible. There is nothing like one and indivisible Cameroon. We are divisible. We are two nations, two countries, two anthems, two flags, two territorial borders. If you have forgotten, go back and read the Mina Simon Agreement, you go back and read the one of 1916, you go and read that of 1931, you go and read the 1922 League of Nations agreement, and you will know that we are not the same. There is nothing like we are the same. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived. And to those who think that they are preaching federation, I am happy that it was made known to them that we are not even thinking of 10-state federation. We are not even thinking of 4-state federation, or even 4 or 5-state or 6-state. They are thinking of nothing but decentralization. And that is what we cannot give them, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is not what we can give them. Ambazonians have risen, and that is the end of the story. Amberlanders. All what they did, all what the Prime Minister did in Ambazonia was just a charade to gain international sympathy, to make the internet, to deceive the international community to believing that they are taking steps into providing peace in Ambazonia. They are taking steps into resolving the current crisis in Ambazonia. No, they are not. If you listen to the expose of the ambassador of La République du Cameroun, who was part of the people at the United Nations Security Council, you heard him right. He said, we are talking. What was the essence of his visit to Ambazonia? To talk, to take pictures with our people, sit with Frunzi and his group, to talk so that they can use it before the international community and say they are talking. No, we are not talking. Talking to Frunzi is not talking to Ambazonians. Frunzi does not control Ambazonia. Frunzi does not speak on behalf of Ambazonia. No, he doesn't. So if he sits there and tell the world that we are talking, the Prime Minister was even with the chairman of the main opposition party in Ambazonia and was talking. They had dinner together. Then you could see pictures of the Prime Minister with people in the street holding peace plan. That was all staged. It was all staged so that they could at least have something to say before the entire war when they meet at the United Nations Security Council meeting. So our people, don't be deceived. Nobody talks of peace and still station more than 5,000 troops, more than 1,000 troops in our territory. Nobody talks of peace, and all our brothers who were captured and locked up are still locked up in their various dungeons in La République du Cameroun. Nobody talks of peace and continue to raise down our communities. Our mothers, those of you who allow yourselves to be deceived, those of you who allowed your stomachs to be bribed with 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 to go and stand out there and pretend to be Ambazonian mothers who want peace, I want to tell you that the same person who is claiming to talk peace with you is the same person that has inflicted pain on your life. The same who has rid you of your sons and daughter. The same who has forced his military to rape you, your fellow women, and your children. The same military that has disrespected our territory, that has flooded the streets of our territory with blood. It is that same military that came into our homes, irrespective of the traditional places that we had, they set them ablaze. That same military forced you to dig graves. That is something you have never done in your entire life, or in the generation before you, you have never heard of. You allow yourselves to be used by the Minister of La République. I want to tell you that I am ashamed of you, and you don't deserve to be called a mother. You are a disgrace to motherhood, because you have insulted the memories of those mothers who were burned alive in their various homes. You have insulted the memories of those women who were brutally raped by the military element of La République du Cameroun. You have insulted the memories of that old mother who went out with the peace plan on the street and was shot dead by the same military, by the same people who pretentiously brought peace plan to deceive you with. You are a disgrace to those fellow mothers, those fellow fellow women who are languishing in various bushes in Ambazonia because their homes have been completely razed down. Their villages have become insecure, and now they are hiding in various bushes. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived because of 5,000. And to those women who allow themselves to be ferried from Garwa, Yaoundé, Douala to come and pretend to be women of Ambazonia, we warn you. We warn you. Know your lane. Stay in your territory. Avoid impersonation. Stop being an Ambazonian when you are not one. Amberlanders. A lot of people have been asking questions. So what is next? No. The only thing that is next, it's our independence. We have gone too far to allow little political games to deceive us. No, we know their plans. You don't sit and talk with La République du Cameroun. The only time we'll be sitting down with them on the table to talk is when we are negotiating the terms of separation, on how they are leaving our territory, on how they are packing their things out of our homeland. There is no more turning back. There is no turning back at this stage where we are. We have lost our youth. So many lives have been lost, wasted, disrespectfully, such that we cannot allow ourselves to be deceived. Even those that they have used to infiltrate our various ranks to see how they can destabilize this fight, we are telling all those enablers that it's not gonna work. That it's not gonna work. Ambazonia is our land. It's the land of our birth, and we will not allow anyone to take it away from us anymore. They have overstayed their welcome in our territory. We will not blink. We will not be deceived by their little acts of peace. We are not dialoguing for any federation or decentralization. We are negotiating the terms of separation, or the terms of how they quit our territory, and independence is what our people want. For the blood of General Ivor, for the blood of those that have gone ahead of us, we will not settle for anything less but the independence, the total and complete independence of Ambazonia. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived. Talking about the issue, the foreign minister, the head of the United Nations Human Rights High Commissioner to Cameroun, Michel Bachelet, Amberlanders. Since the beginning of this fight in 2016, we have seen countless numbers of international diplomats visit our territory. We even saw the boss himself of the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, visited the territory. And what happened? He returned home $1 million richer, because he went there and his mouth was sealed with a gold statue that is worth that amount of money. We have seen Patricia Scotland visit our territory. What did they do? They ended in Yaoundé. She ended up in Boya, where nothing was happening at the time. Went home and sent out reports telling the world how the president of Cameroon is willing to sit and talk, is willing to open up room, is willing to open up room for dialogue or to listen. Amberlanders. They ended in La République du Cameroun, and they went back to their various countries and gave big report of what is happening in Ambazonia without necessarily going to the territory where the war is happening, where our people are being killed, where our people are being murdered, where the carnage is taking place. You cannot sit in Yaoundé and give report of what is happening in Ekiliwindi. You cannot give it a report of what is happening in Womb. You cannot sit in Yaoundé and give report of what is happening in various interior villages in the northern zone or in the southern zone. You cannot. You cannot make phone calls and go out to tell the world that there is peace or that they are willing to talk, because you have not seen the level of blood that Ambazonians have seen. You cannot go home and praise the president, the same executioner of the people that is a very peaceful country and is willing to talk. No, you cannot go home with such reports. A United Nations Human Rights Council, the highest organ that protects and promotes human rights in the world, it baffles me and it beats my imagination on how Cameroon was admitted in that organization. It beats my imagination to know that people like Cameroon and Saudi Arabia are sitting in the core or at the heart of human rights protection in the world. With this, we will not be surprised when we heard America or Nikki Haley say the very core of human rights has been infiltrated. Because you cannot carry genocidal regimes, people who kill their subjects on a daily basis, to put them at the very core of human rights. What rights are you protecting when the same people who are violating people's rights are sitting in the heart of human rights? Amberlanders, they all visited our country, they went home rich. They all visited La Republique, they went home rich. That is not our problem. We will keep the pressure. We will keep the pressure. Whatever they say out there is none of our business. But we will at least appreciate ourselves for the collective effort that we've put in place to make sure that the case of Ambazonia was discussed at the Security Council. Let us celebrate that, but don't be too excited. Let us not be too excited, because until independence comes, nothing has happened. Keep the pressure on the ground. Make Ambazonia a contender. When Ambazonian become a contender, they will no longer be talking about humanitarian assistance. They will be talking on how to step in and prevent the war in Ambazonia. They will no longer sit for 2 hours and talk about humanitarian assistance. They will be talking on how to put an end to the war in Ambazonia. Let us continue to make the ground hot. If you have never funded Ground Zero, fund it now like you've never done before. Let us keep the pressure. We have only Ambazonians who determine their own fate. We cannot depend on them. The United Nations will sit and talk. They have sat and talked. They have talked on other countries' cases. Syria is still there plunging in war. They have had those Security Council meetings on several occasions talking about Syria, but Syria today remains in war. So let us not get excited that the international community is coming to rescue us. But that notwithstanding, we should also celebrate that we have at least put that pressure on them to be able to discuss our case at the United Nations Security Council. But we must continue to make Ambazonia a contender. We must make our territory a contender, and they will come running. The enemy in La Republique is under pressure. We hear the Prime Minister of La Republique is today and tomorrow visiting the southern zone. Amberlanders, that is no friendly visit. You have no friend in La Republique du Cameroun. The people who maim, killed, destroy your properties, the same who burned down Mami Api, the same who killed Mami Frida in her sleep, the same people who destroyed, bundled our youth in Bali and set them ablaze as though they were setting wood ablaze, those are not your friends. They will give you a handshake and they will pull a bullet on your forehead. Those are not your friends. Those of you in the southern zone who are excited to welcome them, let it be known that you have no friend in La Republique du Cameroun. He knows nothing but brutality. He will come there and we will hear the stories. The same way we heard those stories in the northern zone, they came and the same day we had our boys chased out from their homes, killed and dumped in bushes. That is the same thing that will be happening in the southern zone. And ever since they came to our territory and pretended to talk about peace, we have not had any form of peace in our territory. We continue to see corpses littered in the bush. We continue to see videos of our communities raised down. We continue to see our mothers crying in pain. So there is no peace in La République du Cameroun. The only way you will have peace is to make sure that you chase La République out of Ambazonia and make Ambazonia a home for you. When Ambazonia becomes a home, then will you get peace. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived. 1,000 francs will not save your life. 5,000 francs of bribe to come out and visit and welcome the minister cannot give you freedom. It will not. It can take your life away. That is for sure. Don't allow yourselves to be deceived. Ambalanders, we are at war. We came out with peace plan. They rejected peace plan and openly declare war on us. They cannot turn around. They cannot turn around and come to us pretending to extend a hand of peace. It's not going to happen. It's not happening because, first of all, they are not genuine in what they are doing. So we better wake up and continue the resistance. Don't be deceived into calling your boys from wherever they are fighting to defend the territorial integrity of Ambazonia to come back home and surrender themselves to an army that will murder them and send their corpses back to you or bury them in mass graves. Don't be deceived. To our fellow fighters, I trust you. I trust you will not be deceived by the little promises of La République du Cameroun. We have had institutions that offered us jobs. They destroyed it. They stole everything from us and they took it to their own country. But we will rebuild our economy. We will rebuild our economic system. We will rebuild our educational system. We will rebuild our country and make it a place for every Ambazonian. Every Ambazonian will be appreciated in their own country, in their own field of work, in their own expertise. We will no longer be looked upon as second or third class citizens. We will no longer be addressed as Anglophiles because we are not Anglophiles but Ambazonians. We will no longer be looked at like a little gift by the Queen of England to La République du Cameroun. We are no gift to nobody. We are a country of our own. We are a people of our own, and we will determine our own destiny. So don't allow yourselves to be deceived. I gave those instances, those scenarios of various companies that we had within the Ambazonia just for us to know how wicked these people are, how barbaric these people are. If you have forgotten, let me remind you that your brothers were all slain in Menka. There were over 43 of them gathered and slaughtered like animals. If you have forgotten, you mothers who allow yourselves to be deceived with 5,000 francs, let me remind you that your children were gathered up, picked up, brutally killed, and their corpses set ablaze in Bali. Others did so it also happened in the southern zone. If you have forgotten, if that child that was burned or that was set ablaze was not from your own womb, it was from the womb of another woman. So you have no right to betray that woman who has sacrificed not just her life, but the life of her son to make sure that Ambazonia is free to go and pretend in front of the camera for the international community to see and say that we are at peace. We are not at peace. Mothers, fathers, don't allow yourselves to be deceived. Do not allow yourselves to be deceived. We are at war, and that is what it is. Cameroon is not going to give you any peace. Only Ambazonia, when it's free, will you have peace. I don't know about you, but we also heard Justice Aya Paul after the interview he gave after the visit of John Gauthier in the northern zone. No, You cannot be talking about disarmament when you station your army in the territory. When you have caused so much tension, people cannot freely walk the street. People cannot freely move around on motorbikes. Youth can no longer carry backpacks on them. They are all considered terrorists. You don't make peace with people like that, because they will call you out from your hidings and they will destroy you. We better wisen up. We have made these mistakes. Our parents did it before, but this is not that same generation. We will not allow them to deceive us. We will not allow them to deceive us. We are the never again generation. I don't know about you, but we are the never again generation. I thank you all for this kind attention. This is afternoon. Most people are still at work. I'm just fortunate that I had half day today. So thank you so much for coming on. And to our brothers, I really wish I could speak to our parents in the local dialect. But before I go, let me tell our mothers in Bafut, our parents in Bafut, Mommy, Papa, Tana chu mate, Bobo, Mabu fe yaun den jinik ambazonia, dabu songme, bojin fa, peace mbobongang, kasi nuye bojin rubber. Chu mate wa tabo imbi sugun songme tanu tong bobo, jabo timum fontonun so wa metabo mate non semengar mian shen fe enjima bo to wandang wane kamabo, wa fam fa ambobo kabos ne fa adam timamo long fam bobo. Kabos ndang wa andang se timabo long fam mabo long to bobo and digudang se timabo song mabo tabo bia fenji tabo lowa fan fia diga ka digudang se ti ne tinin bitti tumbo yuma mendam ya fon yen ka fa ndang wa ne yebo ko fon yewu ak ruk tan ndang wa ne ya wa abon continue ye ne tinin bitti tumbo yuma a wasje ne ke man ke bon sun kapchi bu be mami bobuta mbo wasja achak ma wasja ka se bu fa titong achak ma ka bongu ka wa kan ro titong fenge wasin yan chi doctor mun wasita fa treatment mbo ne tinin bitti tumbo yunel bu question bo ne to ma atata bo fenge pretending song no ma bo tra ma bo tra nkeng njin fa peace mbo bo wa abang no bo lo achi ma tan turn shi camera tab log be picture ndembo be international community so ma aba ma bo ma aba be signa bo lo no bo lo bo everything possible yema beneti to family la ka tin kongba man swing bo ma ba bo ta ba ma bo jim man pen gama nyume ma bini zamba zo ma prime minister la republic yenko mam bamenda mam the very heart of bamenda en tongba mbi se en main termo banga bo so anga bo tongbo bia ma bo jim mam fo bo fuyi me et mangar miam ma bo get me fa ma bo so afiam bo ngata la awa ba ready tong ni no bong na ngata la awa ba ready tong ni we no zo ni zo ma zang bobo ma bo be mangar ni tsena ya ben tsere mo swing bo bonga ya ben tsere bo lo atong mandung ma bo tong wo bo fuyin ting mandung bo lo bo picture bo chase Bob international organization swing bo bombo zoma bo everything possible ni zen nga bo twa nga ben mo mam je mam la abene bo twa nga bo everything if ya no solution la abene jinga menyume ma bo rubitsama abatung ne listen baby ma bo jin nzen kianga bo everything possible ni nga bene bo everything possible ni zen nga bo provide solution ni ben me ma bitima mam la abene la biya bo kan yuzin shi la bo kan yin kongba. So, mambo tumbombo bu ma ba bo ta ba ma bu je mam pen bo ma bu je mam man kon bo bu je men dan ko en bo bu je mam bu fer bo bu je bambu bo ma bu je en de mam gemba nga bo jinga lebe mu visit mu wama ageba menda akbatung ni ye listen ba. Experience is the best teacher. Let us not allow ourselves to be deceived. Let us not allow ourselves to be deceived. I'll prepare myself some other time to speak fluently in the various, in Bafut and in Kwen, when next I come live. It just came out. I don't know how it happened, but I am happy for the little message I pass across to our parents. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you. Ambazonia for life.